Is the Columbus, Ohio real estate market crashing? Today, I'm going to take you on a deep dive of the latest real estate market update so you can see for yourself if we are high and dry or underwater. Of course, I'll be showing you around 4 sparkling homes in the highest rated school district near Columbus, Ohio, including this $1 million home that you won't want to miss. So let's jump right in, just not into the pool. So here is the first home we're going to take a look at today. And I am going to actually get to the market update a little bit later because I want to show you around this absolutely beautiful home first before I do that. So we're going to go on inside and I'm really excited for you to get to see it. I was actually here earlier in the week and so got the chance to speak with the listing agent, and because I thought you guys would love to see this home, and so I asked for permission to be able to show it to you, and they contacted their seller and gave me permission. So shout out to the listing agent and their seller for allowing this to happen today. So appreciate you guys. So nice little study here at the front of the home. Really beautiful trim work and details. And check out that wallpaper on the wall and the foyer too. That is really nice looking. So this home just had its price reduced to $985,000. So just down the street from this, they are building, well, different builders, I shouldn't say they. There are multiple builders building custom homes well over $1 million. Obviously this one is a few years old, built in 2018. But I think you're gonna like it a lot. Now, if you like this floor plan, but you just would rather have a brand new home, totally understand that as well. You could still build this floor plan. So happy to help you with that as well. Just let me know that you like the floor plan, you just wanna build new, you wanna customize it to your own liking. But isn't this fireplace absolutely stunning? I love it. So nice. And of course, one of the things too I love about this floor plan is the stairs being open into the great room. It just looks so nice. And of course, then you can go down to the basement from there as well. Just overall, it is so nice. And oh, by the way, as you saw in the intro, there is a pool in this home. Now, generally speaking, new construction homes, you're not gonna find a pool unless it's like a custom home, luxury home, where the builder is just trying to go all out to wow people. Just because for the most part, you just don't see that because it's a big expense to add a pool to a home, as I'll mention to you in a little bit. So it's just not something you typically see, especially not on a home that's $400,000, $500,000. You're just not going to see a pool with a new home like that the builder added a pool, because that's one of the most common questions I actually get from people who watch me, who reach out is, hey, what about a home with a pool? Can I get new construction with a pool? And the answer is, well, you can add a pool afterwards, but you're not gonna find a new home with a pool. So I will talk a little bit more about pools and what happens if you don't have a pool at your home later in this video. So stick around for that as well. But here is another very nice looking fireplace. Very cool. So you got a nice little sitting room over here. And we'll get to that in just a second outside. As I normally don't go outside, but this home, it is worth going outside, definitely. So here's a kind of fun thing. Let's see if these open up. I'm assuming that do. Yep, you got some storage here on the side of the island, which, speaking of which, this island is completely massive. Love it. Obviously there's room if you wanted to add probably a third seat there at the bar. You can do that. Looks like we have some more storage over here too. We sure do. So this is, as far as a not fully custom builder, this is probably my favorite builder as far as the looks of what they can do. Like there's so many different options. You get to go to their design center and pick things out. Now, the owners of this home, they have added some additional things after the fact, like the pool. But there are really, truly so many things you can do to customize your home if you build with this particular builder, which is just, I love it. It's really nice. So you can see over here, we've got an actual double oven in addition to having your microwave and your gas range. So really a great home for entertaining, just having so many different options for people to gather and be in the same area. That door is a little stuck, so I don't want to yank on it and do anything. But so here is your pantry. Try to slide in behind there so you can see it. But a lot of nice shelving in there. So you have a coat closet right here, and then your main level powder room. It's a really nice light fixture. Again, you've got the nice pop of color with the wallpaper. I love it. Of course, the transom, not the transom window. You have a window in here and you do have blinds there you can pull down for privacy, so that is very nice. And then right here, of course, you have your drop zone, mudroom area right by the kitchen, and then here's the garage. So cool thing about this, you got the bonus space here at the back. So plenty of space for storage here at the back, unless you have a limousine that you want to park in your garage, which the limousine might fit. But this is a huge garage for just being a 2-car. So that is really nice. All right, let's get on over. Actually, we should probably go look at the pool. I think it warrants going to look at the pool right now, not making you wait until later. How about that? So we got this great covered patio. I mean, this is massive. This is really big and it's really nice. And now that I think about it too, again, I was here the other day, but I was here to create a shorter video. And I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that this, concrete patio that they have out here is so huge. You've got this nice fire pit area here. Now you notice here, you have a fence. So this is rare for Jerome Village. We are in Jerome Village today. That's where this home is. Now the next homes we're gonna see are not in Jerome Village, but they are all in Dublin schools. But so fences are not allowed in Jerome Village, except when you have a pool. So that is why this has a fence. So the yard still goes back further here. Yes, you do have grass still back there. If you're concerned about not having a yard, you do still have a yard. But man, this is such a big area under here that you can be in the shade. Obviously right now at the time of day where it's at, we're about a little after 3 p.m. We're at September right now. So it's still nice and warm out. It's just doesn't feel like summer, so it's not like blazing hot. But this would still be a great time to hang outside. So if you wanted to be in the shade, you still got a huge area to be in the shade. Obviously it connects over here to the front. So that way, if you wanted guests to just come straight back into the pool area rather than having to go through your house, they can do that. Or if you wanted to do that yourself. So you got the nice bubbles here. I mean, check this out. This is so nice. And this is a retractable cover. So I did it myself and it was super easy. I was concerned. I was like, uh-oh, I've never done one of these pool retractable cover things before. It was super easy to do, just following the instructions that they left for it. Absolutely easy. Trying to walk here and not lose my balance. I do not want to fall in the pool while filming. Tell you what, someone the other day when I was here was walking along this ledge for filming. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I am not gonna risk falling in the pool. So the owners spent $175,000 to get this pool and covered patio area. So it's a heated saltwater pool. Also the fence around the pool. And of course you got like the fire pit area over there too. But I mean, this is stunning. Really, really nice. All right, let's head on inside now. I hope you're having a great day so far. I just wanted to say welcome and thank you so much for watching. My name is David DeLuey with Red One Realty, your Columbus, Ohio real estate agent. If you want to know everything about living in Columbus, Ohio or moving to Columbus, Ohio, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my new show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I take you all over the Columbus, Ohio suburbs, showing you model homes and new construction homes for sale. That way you get a great idea what the Columbus, Ohio real estate market is like without ever leaving the comfort of your home. And if you're even thinking about buying or building a new construction home at any point, make sure you reach out to me before you go talk to the builder or go tour their homes. Every builder has different rules, but with some builders, if you show up without me the first time you go to a model home or even start talking to them on your own, they won't allow me to help you throughout the process of buying or building a home. So if you want to make sure that you have representation from someone who has your best interest in mind, just make sure to reach out to me first before you go to any model homes or talk with any builders. And the great thing is there's no extra cost for you to work with me as your realtor, as the builders will compensate me and they don't give you a discount for not working with a real estate agent. And of course, if you're looking to sell a home or buy a home that isn't new like this one, I'd be happy to help you with that as well. I've got people just like you reaching out to me all the time to help them with their move to Columbus, Ohio, and I absolutely love it. To contact me, you can send me a text, give me a call, send me an email, or schedule a time for a video call by scanning the QR code on the screen with your smartphone camera, or you can also find a link for it in the description. I look forward to hearing from you soon to help you with your move to Columbus, Ohio. Let's get back to the tour. So this basement is super nice, nicely finished. Obviously got a great wet bar over here. Looks like you got space where if you wanted to add in, you could probably add two mini fridges over here under the cabinet. Nice butcher block countertop here, really nice. And then, not entirely sure, I'm assuming this would be for putting a pool table underneath it, but that's a very nice light fixture. And welcome to your new home, by the way. This is a magnetic and chalk wall, so you can write things on it with chalk, or you can stick things up on it. A great little space down here. Obviously you had something to put a TV on the wall and an egress window over here. And now check out this bathroom. I absolutely love this shower. This is incredible. Get over here so you don't have to see the glare. This is stunning. It's really nice. I love the hardware that they have in here. And a really cool light fixture. Again, the sink with the faucet, very, very nice. When I saw this, when I walked down here the other day, because oftentimes you see a basement bathroom and it's just kind of like, meh. When I saw this shower, I was like, whoa, that's amazing. So really, really nice. So just to give you an idea a little bit of what else is included with this home. Obviously I mentioned the whole thing with the pool, saltwater, heated pool. You got the bubbles, all that kind of stuff. Additional landscaping and privacy screening that they added. Multi-zone irrigation system, which again, it's not too common in general here. Now, obviously, if you get in higher price points, you're gonna see more of those features like irrigation, sprinklers, and whatnot. So they do have it with this. They added an extra 2 feet on the driveway to make it wider. Let's see what else. They did finish the basement after the fact. So that was an additional $50,000 spend on this home, was finishing the basement. So the builder that built this home, they will do certain things to finish the basement. But so that is interesting to know that it wasn't done directly with the builder, but it was done separately. So the basement's fully pre-wired for home theater, which includes that tech rack that was in that one unfinished room down there. So very nice. Got business class Wi-Fi, full home humidifier, some other things that we'll still see as we go through. But here is our first upstairs bedroom. So obviously, if you have any questions about this home, feel free to reach out. It is on the market right now, actively, so don't delay. Obviously, anyone who has access to looking on Zillow or Realtor.com or the MLS because they're working with the real estate agent, they would be able to see this home and be able to schedule a showing and be looking to buy it. So with it being not a new construction home, the price generally then is, it's more what people are expecting. Whereas sometimes with new construction, the price will look higher, but then they're offering those from the builder incentives, the promotions that lower the interest rate. So it might have a higher price, but it's due to the fact that you get the better interest rate. So keep that in mind too. Obviously people might be wanting to just build a new home if they're paying this much, because they might want to have the ability to customize it exactly how they want it. So that could prevent some people from pursuing it, and they'd rather just build the custom home and spend more money doing it. But definitely reach out to me. Since this is a one-of-one, like I said, you can build, if you reach out to me, we could talk to the builder and get you this home built where you don't get to customize everything, but you get to pick your design selections. You can pick, the different options that they have that are structural changes, things like that. But as far as this home, it's not like they just have another spec home down the street that's exactly the same. But you can build this floor plan in Jerome Village still. So here is now our hall bathroom. So we had that first bedroom had the ensuite bathroom. Now the second bedroom we went into, that bathroom is just right outside of it, but not an ensuite. So now here is bedroom number 3. Really cool accent wall over here, very nice. And again, a nice walk-in closet. So this home with the finished basement, it's right around 4,000 square feet. I just want to show you this view because I hadn't quite shown it to you yet, but it's so nice. Love it. Do have a linen closet right here. And then your laundry room. So nice that you have the cabinets, and something you don't always see, this is probably an after the fact thing. They added the clothing rack right there. That way you can hang things down over the sink area to dry. Very nice. And I love too, with this floor plan, the entry they have into the primary bedroom. Very nice, having the archway, and then also just a little bit of privacy with the door off here to the side. I hadn't paid attention to say it, but the ceiling fans that they have. So in the living room, I think also under the covered patio, and this one too, they are very nice looking ceiling fans. Again, you have a nice accent wall. And this is a beautiful, beautiful home. And finally, we got our primary ensuite bathroom. I love the double doors going over to it. Here's our dual vanity. I love these light fixtures that they have in the bathrooms in this home. They're very nice. You do have the private water closet. And then check out these custom built-ins for your closet here. So nice. And this is a dimmable light too, so you don't have to have it this bright. I just made it this bright for the sake of, that way it's easier to see everything. You can have a window, not a window, a mirror. This is a mirror. Sometimes I say the wrong words. I apologize. Definitely a mirror, not a window. But so you have a lot of storage over here. Plenty of space for shoes, for putting, you got your pants folded up or something like that. Very, very nice. And I didn't even catch this one over here. I mean, you got all the stuff over here. Very nice. So now we just got the tub and the shower to look at next. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Would love to hear from you, would love to help. And we are going to next go look at there we go. We're gonna go take a look at some new construction homes that are also in the Dublin School District. So this is a really cool and unique tile. You got like the strip of the smaller tile in the middle of the bigger tile, but that is very cool. Let me just back out again so you can kind of get the whole feel of it. There's a little bit of glare, so I know can be a little bit difficult to see, but very, very nice looking. And of course it does have the bench back there too. And here is our next home. So this one is priced at $788,000. It's in a neighborhood where there's only a few homes left, and it is extremely convenient. So I'm gonna go over that market update that I talked about earlier. I'll go over that in the next home, and then I will go over the builder incentives, which were just updated and are absolutely incredible in the home after that. But so I wanted to talk a little bit more about the community and the location of these next couple homes as we go through this one. So again, this one's listed at $788,000, but you do get the builder incentives. So it's not always gonna necessarily be apples to apples as far as a comparison to a resale home where you're paying the full interest rate, unless you happen to buy down the rate. Anyway, here is our main level study. Obviously you had, I'll come up here so you can see it a little bit better, but you have the really nice barn doors to be able to close it off. It looks really great. And over this way, go ahead and jump right into the living room. And it is a beauty. Love it. So you got the gorgeous 2-story great room, got a fireplace, got lots of windows. Just to give you an idea what it looks like from over here. So I like the fact that they even have these windows here on the side of the great room. Also that way it's not just not just the ones on the back of the home. So it looks like in this home we have the official guest suite here on the main level. You might have noticed as we walked back here that it seems like there was a shower in the bathroom. So I know that's always a nice feature, because oftentimes you'll have a guest suite as an option, but it's not always in the spec homes. You don't always get that. You'd have to build the floor plan in order to choose that option. So really nice to have the full bathroom here in this spec home. And that does mean in this particular floor plan that this is like the guest bath. This is not, there's not a separate powder room. So I know some people don't like that, right? You'd rather have, maybe your guest bathroom like that, but then also a powder room. So then in this floor plan, you don't have that. And one of the things I like about this floor plan right here, it's interesting, they actually call this as an option the bay window for it. Obviously it's not a traditional bay window, but it's more of a bump out extension for the dining space here rather than a true morning room or sunroom. But I love it because it makes this space really big and it's a good size. And as you can see, the light fixture is centered in that area. So oftentimes when you have a morning room plus the eat-in kitchen space, it just kind of becomes an awkward space to me. The light, they'll have 2 different light fixtures, one for each room, but the dining area is not quite big enough for a big table. So you're really stuck, and if you need a big table, you have to utilize a formal dining room, which you don't always have. So I love the fact that they made this big. So that way you have some space here in between, and then you put a nice big table over here. Very nice. All right, so the kitchen right over here. I love the cabinets and the hood for the vent. That is very nice for the stovetop. Love it. And a cool hexagon tile for the backsplash also. Nice little color variations there, so it's not all just one color. Of course, you've got the oven over there and the microwave as well. And then you do have the different color on the kitchen island cabinets, the dishwasher, your undermounted sink. So man, this is so great. I know some people don't like the island sink, but this is great. You know, if you're entertaining, you're over here at the sink, prepping things, you're right in the middle of the living room area and the dining room area. Love it. So here is your step-in pantry. I call it a walk-in. You could walk in. If you need to play hide and seek, your kids could hide in there, multiple kids could hide in there. It's very nice. And over this way is our mudroom. So you got some nice built-ins here, hooks for hanging your backpacks or purses or satchel bags or whatever kind of bags you want to call it. And now, of course, the garage, you do have that extension. So we don't have the 3-car garage on this home, but you do at least have the extra 4 feet extension over there on the side to give you some extra space for storage. And to, you know, so you can see that's a pretty good amount of height, basically from here up to above, up all the way up to the ceiling, where you could have some hanging storage in here as well. So let's head on down to the basement next. So I alluded to earlier, there's 6 homes available remaining in this community. So that's it, and then they'll be sold out. They don't have any more available home sites. This particular neighborhood is extremely close to a new Costco. It's just a couple minutes from it. There's also an Aldi over there and several restaurants. So that's kind of like one new plaza that just went in a couple years ago. So that's extremely convenient. They just opened, or there was some construction going on near the highway nearby, which I'll get to in a minute. And they just opened the permanent ramps for that because they were kind of using some temporary ramps. So here's your rough-ins for a bathroom if you want to finish the basement. You do have 9-foot high ceilings down here in the basement as well. And so there's restaurants over there, but you're also close to another shopping area where there's a couple grocery stores, a lot more restaurants, small gyms, things like that. Also, the hospital is over there. There's an outpatient facility over there. It's actually where I went to go see a orthopedic surgeon after I tore my ACL in my knee a couple years ago. And you're also extremely convenient just to get on the highway. So if commuting and having a shorter commute is important to you, this is, in my opinion, you can't get more convenient living in Dublin as far as convenient access to the highway. Now, maybe you could just live in a Dublin address in a much older home that is going to be closer into Columbus, because there are some areas near Bridge Park, that part of Dublin off of Sawmill Road, where you can just get in Dublin and be more in town. Now, because you're not necessarily near a highway at that point, it honestly might still take just as long to get to some places that are of interest, just because you got to sit through traffic lights and whatnot. But so from this home, from this neighborhood, it's 10 minutes to get to Bridge Park in Dublin. If you don't know, that's a lot of restaurants, a nice walking bridge across the river to get to Old Dublin, where there's more restaurants. Also, the Dublin Library is over there. Let's see, 22 minutes to get down to Ohio State University, and 23 minutes to get to the Arena District. So that's where Nationwide Arena is, where the Columbus Blue Jackets, the hockey team, plays, where the Columbus Clippers minor league team plays, where the Columbus Crew, which is the Major League Soccer team where they play. So 23 minutes basically to get to downtown Columbus from here. So if you're looking for, like I said, a short commute, this is a great location for it. And now that was, I think I was looking at the GPS at around 11 a.m. on a weekday when I was getting those figures, just for reference point. Because I know, obviously if you do it at the wrong time of day, you either get really long numbers or you get really short numbers. If you do it at rush hour, it could be like, wow, it's a lot longer to get there. There's a great walk-in closet for this bedroom. Or, if you do it in the middle of the night, it's going to seem like, oh yeah, there's no commute at all. Obviously, they have a few things to patch up here. So it looks like they have an outlet they need to add there. A nice hall bathroom, again with a transom window, which I love having it. I didn't mention it downstairs in the guest bathroom down there, but that one had it as well. Here's the view looking down into the great room. It's very nice. So this home generally is facing west, just for reference sake. So I'm recording this about 1:30 in the afternoon, just so you have an idea of where the light is coming from. So another good sized room here. This one is on the front of the home. So that previous home that we looked at, obviously it had its own private pool. But if you didn't know, if you live in Dublin, you actually get access to, there's 2 community pools that are outside. And then there's also the Dublin Community Rec Center that has an indoor pool. So all 3 of those, the Community Rec Center and both the North Pool and the South Pool, are all within 10 minutes of this house and this neighborhood. So this home and the next 2 I'm going to show you, that's all within that 10 minutes time frame. So if having a pool is important to you, to be honest, pools in Columbus are not super common. This particular neighborhood, it's not going to support pools just because, at least to my knowledge, I wouldn't think they would allow it just because the lot sizes aren't very big and the homes are big. So the homes take up a big portion of that lot. But the reality is you don't get all that much use out of a pool, even if it's heated, just because of the climate. You're not going to be using a pool in the winter, even though it's heated, just because, I guess you could try to, but you're going to spend a fortune trying to heat that pool if it's, 20 degrees outside or 30 degrees outside. So the reality is you probably are just going to be using your pool from roughly Memorial Day through roughly Labor Day. And that's when the community pools that are outdoors are open, is through Memorial Day through Labor Day weekend. But anyway, you're so close to them, super convenient. You don't even have to get on the highway in order to go to them, which is great. So here is now our primary bedroom. Like I said, in the next home, I'll go through the market update. It's a nice big closet in here. So if you wanted to put some sort of, not a dresser, but an island with drawers in the middle, you probably could. Maybe not a full square one, but a rectangular one, you probably could. So nice tray ceiling here in the primary. Didn't even turn the lights on, and there's still this much natural light. Really nice. Wanted to put these homes through the true test today without, some of the lights were already on when I walked in, but I didn't go through specifically to turn on every light to make sure that it was nice and bright, just because they're getting a good amount of natural light today. So one thing that I think is interesting about this floor plan is this little bump out here in the primary. So depending on the elevation of the home, this could be different size. Depending on what you do in the bathroom, it can be a little bit different. But let's see what we got here going on in the bathroom, because again, this is one of the things. We'll turn the light on before I show it to you, just so you don't Oh, that's funny. Well, the lights aren't working in the bathroom, so obviously they'll work on that. So here we have the luxury shower in this bathroom. So no hiding here. We got the dual vanity. So one of the options would be, now you can't get the tub right now. Like the tub wouldn't be an option with the shower where it is, but there is an option to get a tub in this floor plan if you built it. Again, you can't build it in this particular neighborhood just because they're out of home sites and they just have a few spec homes left. But if you wanted to build this floor plan in another community, you could do that, and there is an option for a tub in there. So you got a private water closet, linen closet, of course. And then here's the luxury shower, which I think is very nice. Now, I was talking with a client this past week actually, and she was interested in this floor plan, and she was like, I don't like how it has this bump out, you know, in the shower here. And I was like, I agree, it's kind of weird to have it. No, I like the fact that it means you have the entire space, the entire width here, that the bench doesn't get in the way of that. So I guess from that standpoint, it makes sense to have it, but it's like, oh, it'd be nice if it was just a nice straight wall here. So maybe they give you more space here, but this is still really nice, beautiful tile. Looks like it, for the tile on the wall is the same tile as you have over here on the floor. Then you just have the smaller tile in here in the shower on the floor. But it looks very, very nice. And of course, nice to have that bench over there as well. And here is our next home. Absolutely beautiful exterior. I personally love having the 3-car garage. I don't know why, I just like it. I like the way it looks, having the wider overall home. I love how big too the front porch is on this home. And of course the stone wrap here on the front porch and around the front door is very nice. But you just have so much space here on the porch. I love it. This home is listed at $789,000. So in this home, I will go over the market update. And then in the next home, I'm gonna go over the new builder incentives. They were just released and they're absolutely incredible. These are actually, they're better than they were before, significantly better. So I really think it's gonna make a big difference for you as far as affordability on getting into this brand new home. So nice little study here. 2 windows looking out the front onto the front porch. The 3 transom windows up on the side so you get the light, but you still have privacy. Love it. So this one, we do have the powder room. There you go. So right here at the front of the home. Obviously, maybe a little strange having a window from your bathroom looking out, but nothing some blinds can't help with. But that's very nice though to have the powder room. So let's see what we got over here. So it should be a coat closet here. Yep, so nice double wide coat closet and our mudroom area right here. So similar to the last one, as far as the space that you have there. And so here is our 3-car garage. Very nice. And it looks like, oh, nope, it was just, I was gonna say, do we have a hose bib hookup in the garage? We don't, we just have the hose. Someone put a hose in there. I was gonna say, that's pretty cool if you have a hose bib there in your garage. But very nice having, obviously you have a little bit of a separation there, but I don't think that'll be a hindrance at all. So lots of space in there if you want to park 3 cars, or if you want to park 2 cars plus have some storage, or whatever it is that you would like to do. So here is now the living room. And so again, similar to the last home, we're gonna have a very open concept living space here. So you've got vaulted ceiling in the living room. And I like the fact that, now I don't know if they do this on all of them. I feel like I've seen this floor plan before where it just goes up to one side. So rather than like an upside down V, I kind of like that. It makes this area look nice. You know, like a cathedral type look rather than, oh, especially over here. Look how nice that looks with the window. That's really cool. I like that. I'm a fan. All right, they won me over. Very nicely done. Love that light fixture hanging down too. So obviously, as you can see, this is the dining area right here. And now I am standing in, and even though you can't see it yet, there we go, there's the island. I'm standing in the kitchen. So again, if you're at the kitchen island, you're over here at the sink, you're right here in the middle of the action with your family, with your guests. Love it. Very nice. Speaking of loving it, the countertop looks great. And you do have that bar seating. And I like these fridges too. I feel like, I could be wrong, it was the same looking fridge in the last home, but I feel like these fridges are upgraded compared to some of the ones that I've seen in their homes recently. So I don't know if they just started using a newer style fridge, but this looks nicer. I'm gonna go ahead and open it because occasionally when I've seen their fridges recently, I thought like, meh. I mean, it's still I wanna say rather than having the lower freezer section, it's been the style where it's just, you know, fridge on the right and freezer on the left. So I definitely like this style of the French door up top and then the freezer beneath. And just, it looks nicer. So I'm trying to remember exactly, I'll have to look back at the videos that I've done to see, okay, well, where were the homes that I saw the other fridges? I know I can pinpoint one particular neighborhood. Oh, and actually just last week. Yeah, last week I was looking at some homes of the same builder. Okay, so the home tour, the video that was in Powell, where it was the 6 homes, that was the same builder. So if I remember correctly, granted, I actually don't even think any of them had fridges. Maybe one of them did, but I feel like the fridges were not quite as nice looking. So again, you got the white cabinets, very nice. The similar vent hood there, really cool looking. The tile backsplash looks nice also. Really cool. And I didn't even point out the fact, obviously you have like the prep kitchen area over here with your own countertop. You got a window, you got the backsplash in there. That's really nice. And obviously if you need to put a little something, maybe put your trash can over there so that's not all the way hidden in the closet or in the pantry. But that is very cool as well. So we got to go downstairs now because this is a 5-level split. Oh, this is a nice room. So you got 9-foot ceilings in here, the big, big windows. So again, this is like, I mean, this might as well just feel like, I don't even know, like this feels better than some living rooms, I'll tell you that much. This is like, it's a carpeted version of a builder living room that's really big. Because this is, you know, most builders are just gonna have a 9-foot high ceiling and that's it, you know, it's just a room. But so this is so nice. Like you have the cathedral ceiling in the great room. And of course, again, the kind of the feature of the 5-level split is you can see out into your yard. Now, technically, you can't always see out this well. So this window well height, or the ledge here, is about at my waist, just for reference point. But so you can see out very nicely into the yard. Doesn't feel like a basement. I know in theory my feet are underground right now, under where the grass is, but this is extremely nice. All right, so market update, here we go. So closed sales are down 7%. So this is for the Dublin School District. Sorry, I should have clarified that. Dublin School District for July 2025, which is the most recent available stats as of today. So the closed sales are down 7% to 110 in that month. So just 110 in the Dublin School District. So just so you have a reference point of how many homes are selling, and we're not talking about thousands in that one school district, 110. The number of homes going into contract, though, is up 28% to 105 compared to last year. So this is July 2025 compared to July 2024. So sometimes in a 5-level split, they will have this crawl space underneath. Now, I do appreciate the fact But they actually did put a concrete floor. Like they put a basement floor there rather than it just being gravel, dirt. I think that makes a really big difference. Obviously, because this room is only up a half flight of stairs, that's why it's like that. But so if you need to put stuff in there for storage, obviously it's not convenient. Maybe you want to put things on rollers to be able to roll it around because you can't really stand up to carry it when you're under there. But it's still useful for storage if you wanted it. And obviously this is still a great area, 9-foot high ceilings down here to be able to finish this if you want to finish it. All right, so the average price is up 8.2%. And that's a big number up, and that's up to $617,000 for the average sale price. The median sale price, however, get ready for this. Do you think it's up or down? The median price is up 18%. 18%. That is a massive number to $652,000. Now, full disclosure, like I said earlier, it's 110 homes that sold. When you're dealing with a number that small, it is not uncommon, so it's common. It's common to have big swings in that percentage, just because a lot can happen when you're talking about that few homes. You know, a few more homes sell that are higher priced, it makes it go up. A few more homes sell that are lower priced, and not as many sell that are higher priced, it goes down. So that's not really a big deal. To me, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's not like if you bought a home, it's suddenly worth 18% more than it was a year ago. But still important in the fact that, well, it's not declining, right? So to me, now normally you would see the average price be higher than the median price, because basically what that would mean is you have, let's say, the $2 million homes that sell, $1 million homes that sell. Obviously those are above the median price. And the median is just, you know, all the homes together. Nice laundry room here. It's awesome having the countertop with the sink across from where your hookups are, and then you still have more storage as well. But so normally it's just an indication that you have these higher priced homes that sell, even though the median is what it is. In this case, it would indicate that since the median is higher, it would indicate that you had some random low ones that sold, even though there was, you know, let's say a good amount of higher priced homes, but maybe you didn't have, because there's an equal amount above 652 and an equal amount below 652. But in this case, that might indicate, well, it means you didn't have as many of the upper priced homes, like let's say $1 million plus or 1.5 million plus, to raise that average higher. Maybe those homes didn't sell this particular month. So that kept the average beneath or below, lower than the median. Hopefully that makes sense. You can always ask me about it if you have questions. So the average price per square foot was up 2.2% to $251 per square foot, which ironically is the same exact as price per square foot as the Dublin School District, which I talked about last week. So they're effectively the same price per square foot. And homes sold for an average of 99.4% of their original list price. So that means if the home was listed at $1 million, it sold for $994,000. So almost nearly selling for the list price, the original list price at that. Obviously some homes are selling for higher than the list price, others are gonna be selling for less, but that's the average. So nice hall bathroom there with the transom window. 31 days on market in July 2025. That's compared to 25 days on market until selling a year ago. And there were 146 new listings compared to 106 a year ago. So that's an uptick. Obviously, that's a pretty significant uptick at that more people are being comfortable listing their homes for sale now. And now there are 198 homes for sale compared to 137 a year ago. So again, that's a pretty significant number, the amount of homes that are actually for sale. So now it's a 2.3 month supply, which is still a seller's market. That's not, you know, it's more supply than there was previously, but that is not a buyer's market by any stretch of the imagination. So year to date now, so January through July of this year compared to January through July of last year. That was a big room here. I love it. So the average sale price is up 7.6%, which is $634,000, which is basically the same as Olentangy also, ironically. So a very nice size bedroom here. So this would be a great bedroom. Maybe you got a teenager or a college age child, adult, a college aged offspring adult. Like they're in college, obviously they're not a kid, they are your kid. I've always struggled with that. What do you do when your kids become adults? Do you still call them your kids? Do you call them your children? I don't know what you call them. I'll be getting there in a few years. I'll let you know what I figure out. And then the year-to-date median price is up 10.9%. And that is now $600,000. So that's significant to me that the year-to-date average and the median price are up both over 7%. That's a significant amount. Oops, there we go. Lost focus for a second. So again, to me, I don't have a crystal ball. I was just meeting with a client this week who's moving here, and they asked me what I thought the market was going to be doing. And they said, hey, we know you don't have a crystal ball. I'm like, exactly. You know, we can go based on the numbers. So I can show you numbers, but I don't know necessarily what's going to happen in the future because I don't know what interest rates are going to do. People can speculate, but speculation isn't a guarantee, right? But so here's the statistics, right? So we can see what has happened this year, what is happening right now. And it would certainly seem like, although again, there's more supply now than there was a year ago, it still seems like the market in certain areas of Columbus is still appreciating. Dublin certainly is, Olentangy certainly is. Generally speaking, the areas where the school districts are rated higher, those areas are still appreciating. Now, in some cases, the appreciation has slowed down to more of a normal level. Like a normal appreciation might be 3%, for example. That's a kind of typical appreciation year over year when it's just normal. And so when an area is now getting 3% appreciation, you know, we shouldn't be thinking, oh man, that's terrible. It's like, well, no, that's actually kind of normal. So you got a private water closet. And then over here is your water. This is not your water closet. My goodness, I've got water on the brain. This is not your shower room, although this would be nice if this was a giant shower. I don't know where you'd put your closet if this was your shower, but probably could be a little bit bigger in here. That would be my recommendation for this home. But I like the bathtub that they have over here, very nice. And then here is the shower. But overall, I would say Dublin, Olentangy, those areas are still appreciating. And here is our final home tour for today. This one is listed at $817,000. Similar look over here on the front of the home with that 3-car garage, and pretty similar also to the last one as far as the front porch. Just a little bit different here with the front elevation, but still a good size to be able to have some rocking chairs or benches out, which I appreciate very much. So here we are inside. So a little bit of a different layout than the other two, with the stairs right here at the front of the home. Make sure you stick around just a few more minutes. I'm gonna get to those builder incentives later on in this home tour. And I gotta tell you what, they are absolutely phenomenal. I do love having that 2-story foyer in this home. That is such a nice feature. So I believe this is going to be a main level guest suite right here. So let's peek around here to confirm it. Looks like it. There we go. We got our full bathroom here with the walk-in shower. That is very, very nice. And I like the countertops too. That looks really cool also. Plus it comes with a Realtor in your mirror. Just kidding. Doesn't come with that. You could just see me there, but very nice to have that guest room on the main level like the home 2 homes ago did. And of course this one has the private ensuite bathroom, rather than it being the shared bathroom. So I was actually just in recently, over the weekend, a model home of this floor plan. So it's kind of fun to get to see the slight differences between the two of them. So here's your powder room, and it's very spacious. This is really nice. I mean, to be honest, you could have put a good sized vanity here if you want. You could change that out, obviously, to put a nice vanity there instead of the pedestal sink. I almost forgot to show you, you do have a coat closet right over here. So plenty of space to put your coats because you don't have one anywhere up there, just for reference point. So here is now your living room. Check this out. So 8 windows there on the back wall, really nice. And then you got the 2 windows over here on the side. And let's get a closer look at this fireplace. That's some nice looking, I mean, it looks kind of like tile. It's like half tile, half stone. It feels more like a stone texture than a tile texture, but that's cool. It's kind of like the mix of both. Like, it looks like it's tile shape, but it feels like stone. Very cool. So again, you got the 2-story great room. Let me actually come over here so you can see what the view is from here. We'll be going over the builder incentives in just a couple minutes here. But so this is a unique floor plan. So this is one of the things that my client was mentioning as we were walking through it, how like this is kind of a unique thing to have this pillar here. Now in one regard, it does kind of create some natural separation between the dining area and your living room here. But obviously in another sense, it would be kind of nice to just have it be open, right? So as I just mentioned, obviously here is your dining area right here. So a pretty good space. And then here is your morning room back over here. So this is not as good of an example as what I was referring to earlier, where it kind of feels like, well, you get this extra space, but it doesn't really help with your dining room, because this dining room is actually a good size to where I don't feel like it has the issue as much, where you could put still a pretty good sized table that way. Probably have a little bit more trouble if you're trying to do it this way. Like that way would be difficult, but going lengthways here, you could get a good size table in there. So then you do truly have the ability to say, all right, we have the sitting room capability right here, which is nice. I like doing that. So that's a good amount of space. Whereas again, in other floor plans, you don't quite get that feel to where it's like, oh, nuts. We want that extra space for a table, but then it's like the table's awkwardly in the middle of 2 spaces. So different kitchen layout here than those last 2 homes that we were in, where the kitchen was, you know, kind of like right in the center of everything. Because in this case, the kitchen is off to the side, but you don't have your sink on the island. You have the sink looking out into the backyard. You have some nice windows there. So in this case, you are going to be right next to your living room here, or sorry, your dining area, but the living room is further away. Now you can still see them from over here. You know, if you're over at the sink, you look over to the side, you still see them, but just a little bit of a different layout. So just like, I forget which home it was, it might have been the last one, or maybe it was 2 ago, but you got the different color cabinets for the island. Very nice countertops again in this home, and again, a different tile backsplash also. Now this one is gonna have the stainless steel vent for your range, the range hood, rather than having the wood, the white wood for it. I don't know, I like stainless steel in one regard, but I kind of like how the white wood looked. Like it just kind of felt like it matched better with how it went. So I'm gonna give a thumbs up to those previous 2 homes and having it done the way they did with the white wood rather than the stainless steel. I love having the window in the pantry. That way you can get some natural light in there even if you don't have the light on. That is very cool. Again, you've got your built-in oven and microwave over here next to your fridge. Very nice. Now this is kind of cool. I like how they have this open. Now, part of the neat thing about that, if this was closed off, so if there was a wall right here, coming to here, and then a door there, this would be unfinished. The stairs would be unfinished. They might still have some drywall, but it's just not a finished space. But because it's open like this, now you have, it's painted, there's carpet on the stairs, nice railing, etc. So we'll get there in just a second. Let's check out this area here really quick. So a slightly bigger boot bench over here for your mud room, which is nice, because this is a big home. And then you have your family coat closet over here, which is nice. So a walk-in coat closet. So you got a lot of room if you need to put extra shoes and whatnot in there to keep them out of the way. And then here's our garage entry. So kind of unique that you're more in the center, because I want to say on the last one, the 3-car garage entry was on that wall. So you came in, you'd be going all the way across if you needed to do that. Let's see, do we have a little bump out? Okay, just by like a foot or so back there. But very nice 3-car garage again. I appreciate the fact that even though these are relatively smaller lots compared to most places they build, that 2 out of the 3 homes today we're looking at have the 3-car garage still, which is very nice. So incentives, as we go down to the basement, let's talk about the incentives. So again, this is kind of cool. So you have to turn the corner. Now it does look like they didn't finish it down there. I do wonder if they're going to, I would certainly think they would, since it's still carpeted, that they'll come in and finish painting this area. That way, if this door is closed, this whole hallway, stairway going downstairs is going to have a finished appearance, which is really nice. So this builder is still offering that 2-1 buy down. So in this case, I mean, unless you just had a huge down payment and then for some reason, you wanted to go with an FHA loan, maybe because your credit score wasn't quite high enough, you would probably be going with a conventional loan on the homes in this neighborhood, just based on the pricing, because FHA loans have limits that they won't go above. So there's your rough-ins for your bathroom right over there. But so with that, if we're just talking about conventional loan limits, that 2-1 buy down, that means you'll be at a 2.875% interest rate in your first year, then a 3.875% interest rate in your second year, and then in years 3 through 30, you would be at 4.875% the rest of the time. So this is a 30-year fixed interest rate at 4.875%. But then you have the 2-1 buy down so that it's lower in the first 2 years. So you're kind of easing into the home. That way, if it's a bigger payment for you, you have time to kind of get used to it and ease into it. It also means that, if you're wanting to spend money to upgrade certain things in the home. Now this is a 9-foot high ceiling in the basement again, which is very nice. But so if you're wanting to upgrade things on the home, maybe put it in a nice patio in the backyard, things like that. Again, you're saving money on your monthly payment those first 2 years, where you could put money towards that. Or obviously just, you have costs of moving and whatnot. Maybe you get new furniture, things like that. So it's really helpful, right, to have that lower interest rate in the first couple years. And they also are going to help with closing costs, which is very nice. So we're going to go upstairs now. Now I do want to say too, so if you haven't ever talked with a lender before about qualifying for a loan that has a buy down that's temporary like that, I do want to point out to you that this is kind of cool. I like how the stairs do this here. Very nice. So then it comes over this way. But so you do have to qualify based on that 5.875% interest rate, not the 3.875% in the first year. So basically they can't just say, hey, well, let's say your payment, I'm making up the number. Let's say your payment's going to be $4,500 in the first year. Well, they're not going to say, oh, well, you can qualify for that, so you're good to go. And then like the next year, the payment's $4,800, and then the year after that, it's $5,100, or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. I'm just making that up. But they're going to take a look at that final payment the year 3 through 30 payment to make sure that you're still affording that. So just so you're aware, if you're like, oh sweet, we can afford that. Like, well, you do have to be able to afford the final payment, not just the first year payment or the second year payment. So this floor plan, so obviously here's our first bedroom upstairs. So this is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath home, because it had that main level bathroom and bedroom. In this floor plan, if you wanted to, if you're building it, again, you can't do it in here, but if you were building it somewhere else, you can get another full bathroom added here. So you would lose the 2-story foyer, but you get an ensuite bathroom for this bedroom right here. And so where the stairs are right here, I hope no one's afraid of heights, a wall would continue this way. So rather than it being angled here, this would go straight, if I'm remembering correctly. You might have to check with me on it. Now the door here stays at that angle, but basically you end up with a wall over there, because then you're gonna have a full bathroom over there. So a little bit different, but a cool option if you, again, in a 5-bedroom home, if you wanna make sure that you have a lot of bathrooms for your family to use, that way you could get 4.5 bathrooms in the home. So here's obviously your laundry room with a nice window and a linen closet right next to it, which is very convenient. And right next to the linen closet is your hall bathroom upstairs. So I like that you got a pretty good sized vanity, and it's a nice height too. Love the good height on the vanity, so you don't have to bend over if you're an adult like me. If you're taller, the low sinks are a challenge. So you gotta bend over so much just to get my hands in the sink so it's not splashing everywhere. But nice transom window again in the shower, very nice. If you do have questions about builder incentives at any point, you can reach out to me. Would love to answer any questions that you have about them, or if you just want updates about it so that you're constantly in the know about what builder incentives are happening whenever they're released, whenever I hear about them, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now, or there's also a link for it in the description to sign up for my builder incentive email. So you just fill out brief information there, what builders you're interested in. Now I will also reach out to you then to schedule a call just to kind of see what your goals are, see how I can be of assistance to you, to know, kind of verify what you're looking for. And then I'll add you to that email list. Now, it's nothing fancy. It's not like it's some, hyped up newsletter. It's just going to be, hey, just heard from this builder that, this is their new incentive, or the incentive now runs through homes that can be closed by the end of November, or whatever the case is. So just to be able to get you that information in case, especially if you're in that waiting game right now. Like if you reached out to me and we were already working together, the moment, if I know that you're interested in a certain builder or certain community, something like that, and you're just waiting for, the incentives to last until a certain month so that you can buy a certain spec home that's going to be ready then, or buy go in contract to build a home. Obviously, I'm just going to let you know that anyway. But if you're kind of on the fence of not knowing exactly what you want, this is a great way. That way you can kind of see what's available and be able to make a decision like, well, this is a really good deal. Maybe we should, let David know, like, hey, are there any of this type of home, that would qualify for that rate? Because that rate sounds really good. That promotion sounds like a great deal. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to offer this to you. If you're not necessarily knowing for a fact that like, hey, game on, I want to be actively looking for homes, but this way, if you get a good promotion, be like, well, maybe we should ask David what's available right now. Anyway, so hopefully that answers questions that you might have about it and why you might want to be on it. Again, if you're already, contacting me and that you're wanting to talk about it, oftentimes too, if you've already started, if you reached out to me and we've talked to the builder already, oftentimes the reps that I work with, they'll let you know also, hey, just so you know now the November homes qualify for the rate. So if you're interested, here's some homes that we've got. So they'll help with that communication anyway. But Anyway, that's that. So this is a, like I said, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home. It's just under 3,000 square feet. And like I said earlier, this particular home is $817,000. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can text, call, email, or schedule a time for that video call. Would love to speak with you. Or if you're here in town, would love to meet with you in person. If you like this video, make sure to check out this video right here, or you can see the one that YouTube thinks you'll like right over here. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next week.